burned.
Look right there. If you just didn't shield and you went for a forward tilt, you would have caught me first, right? Or even jab. Or if you like jumped away with him there, right?
I'm really considering taking shield off of the board and not using new shields to make myself.
I wouldn't recommend doing that. I know it's like, it can be like an idea of trying to make sure you don't actually use it too much because it's just nothing or something, but you're better off just trying to actively focus on the fact that you're doing it too much and trying to replace it with other things. Right? It's kind of like, I don't know. At least for me, maybe this makes sense, maybe it doesn't, but like, it's like if you're someone who's trying to quit smoking, and so what you're gonna do is just quit smoking cold turkey and not replace it with anything else.
Sure.
Right? It's like, okay, well now that I can't smoke or whatever, that's all you're thinking about doing is smoking in that case. But it's like if you take up some other sort of hobby or interest or something else, not always, but more often than not, that can be an easier way to segue out of it versus just saying this is no longer an option, and now I don't have, I don't know, something else I can gravitate towards. Like if you change the button to, let's say, grab, for example, I would say that's actually probably worse. You're trying to throw out like grabs all the time, or if you turn it into attack, it's like, okay, I'm panicking and now I'm just throwing out, like, let's say jab every single time. Or I don't know, like you don't want to get to a situation where it's like you just have no shield, or the only way you can shield is like holding grab and A at the same time, and it's like like this to shield. You don't want to have that situation happen either, right? Or I guess it's holding grab until you can shield. You're better off just trying to, like I said, actively think about, okay, instead of doing this, what can I do that is just as fast and potentially just as safe? Your safest fast moves in that situation are going to be jab, forward tilt is like the next fastest, jumping with nair, or you could also be going for spot dodge or just repositioning as well, right? A lot of the times when players will just like turtle and start shielding too much, it's more often than not because they think that they don't have time to move. Okay, so since you think, okay, I can't move to defend myself and my attacks are going to be too slow to defend myself, I'll just shield and hope that the opponent just dash attacks you or goes for, like, I don't know, an aerial on your shield or something, in which case you could have had time to just dash out of the way, right? Either dash out of the way or like jump back with something like this or like that.
A simple dash back could be more effective.
Yeah, honestly, in a game like this, dash back is one of the most broken things you have because it's so hard to get in this game. Playing defense in this game is so strong. So if you're playing defense as far as like giving up space, if I go like this to try and hit you, if I go like this and I land right in front of you, or I go for like a dash grab and I land right in front of you, you just dash back and go for a forward tilt, or dash back and go for an F smash in some cases, and you catch me for free, right? Whereas if you shield, let's say if you shield and I go for, like, if I go for a grab and I catch you, but if I, let's say, I don't know, if I like cross up your shield and you try and jump out of shield and I throw like an up tilt, then you get caught. Meanwhile, if you just dash out of the way or dash back, let's say you went over here, if I come down like this and you dash out of the way, as I'm landing, you can just hit me with a forward tilt, right? So ultimately just trying to be a little bit more on the aggressive side, or aggressive and elusive with your movement, and not too defensive with your shield. Yet, ultimately, I think the biggest thing that's like holding you back, I was talking to a player about this last night, where it's like, it's way easier to teach someone or train someone to calm down if they're a super like aggressive player versus getting someone to be aggressive if they're more on the defensive or like timid side almost, right? And I would say that right now that's where you're landing a little bit more, where it's like you're definitely not mashing. And if you were mashing, I feel like it's easier, like I said, to get someone to stop mashing versus getting someone to believe that they could be pushing more buttons. Yeah, exactly. But I definitely want you to try and experiment with that a little bit more, because right now there's quite a few times where it's like, even if I'm like doing something good or bad, you could have thrown something out and we could have either traded or you could have just won the exchange completely. Whether it's nair, forward tilt, even like F smash, right? Your F smash is outrageously strong. I'm not saying just go for it because you feel like it all the time, but like you'd be surprised how many times where it's like you could have gone for F smash and you just dashed away or you just shielded, right? and you could have actually gotten something, like you could have got a kill. You also know how much. Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna try to think about mashing. I actively try not to mash. I want to be intentional about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But it keeps me compressing on me. So I guess.
But here's the thing. I'd say be intentional. You don't want to be intentionally mashing. It's not so much that. It's more like being intentional that, like, if you go for an attack, or just if you see me do something that's a mistake, just know with some confidence that, hey, yeah, he made a mistake, and it doesn't matter who I am or how good I am. My character has end leg that can be punished, right? It's not like my character's magical. Yeah. It's very, like, it's honestly a strange thing that you've been drawn to this character, because, like, Wolf, he can be played slow, but he definitely really does do well for people that mash. Like, his smash attacks and his frame data is so outrageous, not to mention his strength as well. You really don't have to care about what people are doing basically ever, unless they have way more range than you. So the only thing that matters. Oh, I hit you? Okay, I thought you hit me.
I thought I hit you too.
Tipper.
That was so surprising. I'm like, wait, that's me.
So if you notice, this is one of those things that just happens where you can say a newer player, you can say an inexperienced player, you can say a passive player, you can say whatever you want to call it. If I don't fight you, you won't fight me. Right? Which means that if I wanted to time you out, which is incredibly boring, but if I wanted to, I could time you out, because as soon as I have a lead, either you didn't know how to get in, or you really, really took your time getting in, right? When you're trying to get in and force something to happen, it is hard. Obviously, playing offense is harder than playing defense. That's why everybody runs away in this game. But if you do have to try and make something happen, you want to try and get closer to me, okay? And use your movement to try and scare me into either shielding or swinging or jumping or spot dodging or something, so you can actually hit me. If you stand way over there and I stand way over here and you shoot lasers, it might work eventually, but if I'm up a stock, your laser's never going to kill me outright. And if I just shield or jump out of the way, that's not going to do anything for you, really at all. First, if you get close to me and you're throwing out either attacks, like going in and out of my burst range to try and scare me into doing something like spot dodging, then you can try and take advantage of that. Hit me off stage and try and ledge trap or get a kill if I make a mistake at a high enough percent. So another obvious thing that's happening is it's just I'm a more experienced player, so there is that. But as far as the biggest thing for sure is I'm making a ton of reads, right? I'm trying to anticipate where you're gonna go. I wouldn't even necessarily say before you know, but I'm trying to say, okay, he's in this spot. Based on your character's recovery, if you don't jump, you'll kill yourself, so you have to jump. Or if you're in the corner, let's say, okay, so he's always rolled out if he's center stage, or in if he's on the corner of the stage, so he wants to get like try to like cross me up or something like that. So I'll make reads based on that. Or if you're a passive player as a whole, you're probably not going to try and land on me with an attack to get out of disadvantage. You're probably going to try and double jump away or air dodge away, which means I don't have to shield or like get out of the way when you're trying to land, right? So that's the biggest thing. If you take anything away from this at all, is keep in mind that you're playing against someone that can be outsmarted, right? Just because you're trying things that might not work against other players doesn't mean that it wouldn't work against me. Okay? Yeah, the thing that's really coming out besides the disadvantage stuff, still getting those combos up, and this is the training room thing for yourself, for sure, where it's like just learning how to like fair train, for example, or learning his different percents for things that are not just like down throw dash attack, because there's so many times where even if your combo game, like our Wolf's combo game is not crazy, like you're hitting like 6 or 7 hits, even if it's like 2 or 3 hits, you should try and get those 2 or 3 hits every single time. It's the same thing like playing Mithra or Pikachu or Falco or Sheik, where it's like if I hit you once, the damage is like 7, right? Or in some cases, depending on the character, like Sheik and Pikachu, like 4 tilt does like 5 or 3. So if I just do like 3 damage, it does nothing. I gotta hit you a ton of times, but for your character, you gotta get at least 2 hits. If it's like landing there, dash attack, landing there to like landing fair into rising raw back air, stuff like that. The up throw, up air stuff, up throw, fair stuff, like just getting that into your gameplay. So even if you only get like 1 grab or 1 landing there or whatever, instead of doing like 12 or whatever just nair does or just down throw does, you're getting that 30 to 40 or sometimes 50 damage. And that's going to be huge for you. Just making your exchanges in neutral more potent.